Good morning, my lovely crafty people. Today is day 12 and today's prompt is paper clips. I have my box of paper clips. I have some hidden paper clips that I made last night after watching Lindsay's video from the Vintage Button. I also watched Nix's video from Coffee and Craft with Nix and Timmy, I think it was. And got lots of lovely ideas. For today's page, I have made some slits in the page, and I'm actually going to stick two together. And for my prompt, I just made a little hidden paperclip, as we need a paperclip for Paperclip Week. So, to make my strips that I can clip my paper clips into, I covered my page with, this is just some old wrapping paper, and really sadly I've nearly used all of it and I love it. And then I flipped the page and I measured and drew in some slits, and where I scribbled is where I'm going to glue, and I'm going to glue that page to this page to create those pockets. So I'm just going to have a fiddle with the book and I'm going to bring that page down. And I'm going to give this page a good glue. All the way to the edges. A big strip in the middle. It is really early this morning. I don't know why I'm awake so early. But I thought as I was up and about so early, I'd get my video done and I get some gardening done while it's still cool enough to do so, and then I'm off to work this afternoon. See what little bargains I can find at work today. So I've done lots of glue on that page, so I'm just going to line it up with the page below and stick the two pages together. That then gives me my little slits that I can clip my paper clips into. I'm just going to put that plastic under it for now. I found a great use for all the plastic that comes on your rubber stamps. So what I've done as I was making the paper clips is I've just clipped them on because the glue was splurting out the side. You can see I had to go at doing a prompt on another one, but I wrote hidden paperclip and it didn't fit and I didn't like it, but I'm just going to use that paperclip. So I'm going to add some lace to this page, just to create another bit of the dimension. And just, this is lace I just picked up at the range yesterday. I did go down to the range and Home Bargains and replace my Yoo-hoo glue. Yoo-hoo! And replaced my big glue stick as well because they were both running out. And this was in the wedding section, which I quite like. It's been a long time since I've been married, but ho-hum. So I'm going to use my double-sided tape and just stick down that lace. Just gives a little bit of a background to the page, a little bit of extra texture. I've gone for white lace today, which is quite unusual. Normally I use colour or like vintagey type lace. I do have a varying amounts of lace. Someone yesterday on the community chat was asking about Temu. I have a massive addiction to Temu, and prompted by Lindsay, I'm going to try and break that addiction. I do have a lot of stickers. Mostly what I've bought from Temu is fabric and lace, and you get these fabulous little jelly rolls, which are strips of fabric or some fabric bundles. I also bought quite a few die cuts, stickers, lots of stickers, and stamps. Also craft punches. They do some really nice craft punches, but I'm beginning to think about the ethicalness. Ethicalness? Is that a real word? The ethical elements of this. So it is kind of challenging me a little. I don't have a lot of income, but so one of the reasons for using Temu is it's so much cheaper. But then, am I sacrificing cheap for ethical? So here is the lace down the page. I've got my little tab that I'm going to stick in the corner here, and then for today I'm going to have a go at using up some of my card toppers that I have picked up in the charity shop. So it's just going to be quite a simple page today. I have a whole box of card toppers that I have picked up or I have been given. People give me scrapbooking kits or paper when they've run out of paper packs when they've run out of what they want to do with it. So I'm going to have a go at having a rummage. So let's have, what have I just done with those paper clips there? I'll pop those in there. Let's have a little rummage. This is I've sorted them all out. This is my cake pack. So I quite like these little cakes. So little Victoria sponge, tea party, whoopie pies. Oh, let's have a cup of tea, and so we'll use that one. What do we have with a cup of tea? Oh, I like that. Which one do I like? I think I'm going to go for the green one. And let's have a jammy ring, and then maybe, just maybe, I quite like that. They quite like, they can go together, can't they? Or I can just cut that one out. So let's get rid of these. This is the only problem with having everything sorted, is the minute you start to do anything, you have to take everything out to find what you want, and then you end up having to resort it at a later date. Right, so I've got a cup of tea and a jammy ring, and I'm just going to kiss cut a biscuit that says, "Who can have just one?" I am a celiac and I'm dairy free, so if I do find biscuits and cakes that I can eat, I am terrible. I will eat the whole packet, because it's rare that I find cakes particularly that I can eat, especially when I'm out and about, although more places are getting there with it. So I'm going to use some of my book page paper clips. I'm actually going to stick onto the wider side, onto the longer edge. I'm only going to stick onto the front for today, but I could, if I wanted to, stick onto the back as well. But because I'm doing this just for this, I'm just going to stick it onto the front. So I'm just going to put some glue. When I was making these last night, I realised that my OCD was, I've said I was sticking it on the long side, and then I've glued the smaller side. My OCD had me covering coloured paper clips to match the paper that was colouring, and I thought, why am I doing this? You can't even see the paper clip. So I do, all my paper clips are coloured or funky, so I'm going to keep an eye out today for just some cheap plain metal ones, so they'll be less chunky and I won't be faffing around with colour. So there's the first one done. Let's pop that in. Time for a cup of tea. So time for tea. Let's make the jammy ring one. I'm quite liking having a cakey theme. I might just use the cakey things. So let's pop the jammy ring on. Again, I'm going to just hold it down for a sec. And I'm going to use my sticky pads to stick Who Can Eat Just One on. Let's just put a couple on there. to make sure it sticks. So if you're not already on the Junk Journal community chat, they are doing Junk Journal July. And as I've said, this is day 12, and there is so many videos. I think we're up to about 90 videos if you just search Junk Journal July on YouTube, of hints and tips and how-tos. There's quite a few videos up there that I've been posting as well. I haven't shown you how to make the paper clips because Lindsay did such a wonderful video that I'm just going to link her video on my personal Craft Bee Claire Facebook page. And yeah, I don't feel like I need to do a how-to because you can just go and have a look at her video. Tea for two? I think we'll have tea for two. Let's have the Victoria sponge as well. There's all sorts in this. Oh, look, there's some more teacups. I think I saw a teapot. Yeah, I quite like the teapot as well. This is a, is it called decoupage, where you layer things up? I can't remember. I might use that in the corner. That's quite nice, isn't it? But yeah, I'm just going to try and use up some of these card toppers that I've got. I think they make really cute little paper clips. I could go all out. I could add ribbons. I could add all sorts to them, and just make them. What's the word I'm looking for? 3D. But I'm going to try and keep it a bit simple today. I have got little ribbons that I can stick on the corners if I want to. So we've already got two, nice and easy done. Let's tea for two. I'm going to stick that on one of these slightly longer paper clips. So as I said, I actually put green paper clips in this. In my craziness. So I'm going to just stick that on there. Just give it a minute to hold. Yesterday I got glue on my elbow. Didn't realise till I was out and about, and spent the rest of the day picking at it, trying to get the glue off. I know, just get a baby wipe and wipe it off. So, yeah, I've got a sore elbow this morning. I have put some Germaline on it. So that's all stuck down. And I'm just going to stick that at the top of the page. So tea for two. We've got our teacup. And we've got our biscuit. Let's have a Victoria sponge. So it's just really simply done today. I may come back to it and add some ribbons and other bits to just add more, but I don't know yet. I might do, I might not do. But the great thing about junk journaling is you can come back to it at a later date and decide that you want to add something to the page. It's not a finished piece of artwork. As the name suggests, a journal is something you add to and you tweak as you go along. So I do that with all my journals. I'm mostly art journal, but I'm liking the idea of actually doing a ethical junk journal, just using bits and bobs that I've either picked up at the charity shop or I've been given. Right, so let's have our Victoria sponge, not quite glued on yet. We've got our biscuits, we've got our teacup. That biscuit's quite large, so let's have that one coming in over here. Try and do a couple of smaller ones. I did really like that teapot, so let's find a small green one. See? Green. And I'm going to glue the teapot on. I'm just going to take slightly some off so that it actually fits. I could probably take a little bit off the bottom as well. There we go. And as I said, if I was doing these to go on other pages, I would be clipping front and back. Front and back, 18 pages, friends. I did sing Slim Shady yesterday. I was in my scrap drawer and I suddenly heard my name went, oh, round the outside, round the outside. That's how my brain rolls. My brain constantly is playing music to me. What else have we got? These lovely teacups and a gorgeous gatto. And then I actually think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to use up some of these green ones because I'm going to make more with book pages, or I've got some Amazon wrapping somewhere from my son's many, many purchases. Yeah, I may have modelled a really bad shopping addiction, and he's as bad as I am, but he's 22, and so it's his money and I just let him do it. It's up to him. As long as he's not getting himself in debt, there's no problem really, is there? Right, and the last one I'm going to do is this gorgeous gatto. Oh no, where did the Victoria... Oh, I've done the Victoria sponge. This gorgeous gatto one. And as I posted on my last video yesterday in Junk Journal community chat, I'm really enjoying actually videoing these because it makes me think about the page before I come to it. Normally, with my altered playing cards and my journals, I just make it up as I go along each page, which is fine, but sometimes it takes 2 to 3 days to finish a page, and let's be honest, nobody wants to see a page going on for 2 to 3 days. Right, where did I put... I think, do you know, I think I'm just going to leave it like that today. I'll probably add a dangle to come down the middle here, and I'll probably add a few ribbons and gems and maybe a little bit of decoupage over the top. But for now, I'm really happy with that page. It's just adding the paper clips. I do, before I go, I do have some shaped paper clips. So I could add a little birdie. She's quite cute. I've got a star. Just to add paper clips to the page. What else have I got? It's that colour. I've got some musical notes. I'm just going to leave those two on there today. Lovely. Thanks for watching. Okay, just a little addition and edit. I sat looking at the page, just drinking my coffee, and thought, I am going to add. So what I've done is I found some of the flower toppers, and this one's just had some ribbon added underneath. I've added some ribbon to this one to make it like a rose there, but I'm going to leave it under there for now because here I've just put some red glitter. I found my pom-pom paper clips, I quite like those. This is just a little bit of jute string and a flower. This one I've just backed onto a stamp punch of a coordinating colour. And you can see already it just finishes off the page. And then this is the last one I was doing. So I've just glued it down. I'm just going to trim off the excess. For this one, I've stuck 2 floral hearts together. It's going to be quite a large paper clip. I don't mind that. And I've just stuck them together, put some purple net, I think that was from some fruit behind it, and then a little bit of shimmery organza. And what I'm going to add to that is, where have I put them? A little pre-made bow. I do have a bow maker, so I do every now and then I just sit and make some bows. I want a darkish pink. Some of these are bought, some of these are made. As with most crafts, it's a bit of a mix of everything. Actually, I'm going to go for a lilac, I think. So I'm just going to, over the top of that butterfly, just going to add a little bit of lace, just a bow, and then get one of my paper clips. I have to make some more. It's amazing how quickly you go through them. And then I'm just going to, do I need the netting? No, yeah, I'm going to leave the netting on. I'm just going to trim this up a little so it just fits on the back and doesn't stick out the sides. And then a bit of my yoo-hoo. And I'm going to plop that on the back at an angle, because then when we pop the paper clip in, it will clip at an angle, which I probably should have done for some of those, but it's a lesson you learn as you go through, don't you? So I'm going to leave that to dry. And then I'm going to pop that one in there. And ta-da! So I'm happy with that page now. I wasn't too happy with it. It wasn't up to my standards. So I'm going to add this to the end of the video. Thank you to Lindsay at Vintage Button for your fabulous video on how to make these hidden paper clips. As I said, I will share that to my personal Facebook page, Craft Be Claire. And a huge thank you to Sandra for her page, her community group, and all the lovely things she does, and for setting up and running this challenge with Lindsay. Thank you. Take care.